Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Um, my name is Fred Aminga, and welcome to this monthly session at AKU. Today, we're going to engage in self acceptance, and I will be your moderator today. I'm a second year graduate student at this university, Akan University, but I work at People Daily as a business editor under the ambit of the Media Max, which is based in Nairobi. Over the years, I've been a business reporter and columnist at Kenya Today. I've been a publishing manager at Liberty Graphics and an editorial consultant at Kenya Book Editorial Board. Also been editor for Hotel Manager, Golfer, and Cargo Magazine. Now, before we delve into the weighty matter of self-acceptance, I would like to recognize the presence of AKU senior leadership in attendance. Karibuni sana. I recognize the presence of Mr. Powell Ocheng, Director Student Experience and Associate Registrar, East Africa, through whose office this brilliant offer of monthly psychosocial health talk series have been organized. Now, the flow of this awesome session is very simple. The speaker shall present. During that period, questions can be sent to the chat as the session progresses. Thereafter, we shall have a lively interactive Q&A session, which will be held towards the end. But first, maybe what do I understand, or what do we understand by self-acceptance? Self-acceptance is learning to love yourself inside and out. It's about letting go of the things you can't change and appreciating what makes you unique. However, being comfortable in your own skin isn't always easy. So why are we reflecting over this? Because it's essential and good for our mental and emotional well-being, not only in school, but out there to work at home. This is because it is important to learn to love yourself and make things that make you unique. Now, to serve as the platter is none other than Gini Nasongo. She is counseling psychologist and consultant with Kenya Association of Professional Counselors. She offers counseling, mental health support, and training for organizations. She has vast experience working with clients from different backgrounds, including medical institutions, education institutions, and various corporates offering counseling and debriefs during this and currently during the COVID-19 pandemic shocks. Guinea is a trainer of trainers, senior counselor supervisor, international addiction specialist, and sex therapist, among other qualifications. She's currently working for TVET CDACC as the interim coordinator, counseling psychology, and external assessor and verifier. Karibu sana Ngini.
Thank you very much, Powell. Karibu sana. Asha, karibu sana. Just confirm to me again, is this still East Africa? Are we having the East African students on board?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Sawa. So if that is the case, I would like that we take a moment of silence in honor of the fallen president of Tanzania. Just a minute for that, please. And also for all the other people we have lost along the way because of COVID. They could be our friends, our relatives, whoever they are. Please, a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you very much, Fred, for your intro. And thank you for even saying something a little about self-acceptance. At some point, I felt like, hey, this guy should actually come and work with me, or I should come and work with him. That was quite very, very good, I want to say. And for our friends in Uganda, Chikati, how are you doing? Our friends in Tanzania, hamjambo. My Kenyan fellow friends and colleagues, you know, as we say so many things. Safeni, how are you, Niaje, you know all those things. Okay? But wherever you are, just know that you are accepted the way you are. We love you the way you are. And we would also love you to love yourself and accept yourself the way you are. So where we are at, including you, Fred, just for a minute, I want ourselves to give ourselves a hug, at least a hug for once. I'm sure many of us have never hugged ourselves. Let's go hug ourselves. Oh, yes. What does it feel like to hug yourself? Try to hug yourself the way you'd hug somebody else. Let's do that, please. Let's try to do that. Hug them, hug yourself. You're hugging yourself because you love me. And me in this case is you. It's not me. You love you. Okay? And as you hug yourself, are you seeing signs of love all over you or around you? We are talking about self hug. So when you're saying self acceptance, we are accepting ourselves with our general worth. The worth that we have put on ourselves. It's not so much about other people, what other people would think of us, okay? It is feelings of satisfaction, regardless of past behavior and choices or mistakes. And many times when you're talking about mistakes, remember, these are our own perceived mistakes. Okay. Then it is also about loving yourself as you are. Do you love yourself as you are? Some of us will complain, oh, I'm tall, oh, I'm short, oh, I'm big, oh, I'm thin. But you know, there is a common saying, Mukwinje, out here, that your height is God's work because you can't do anything as it is. Those are your factory settings. How do I know that I have accepted myself? I have a few examples here. I just pray that they'll be practical in your life, and if they are not, then try to use them in your way. Try to put them in context. A second example is a student who earns probably a C or C's and occasional B in college. You know, like when cuts are being done, you always get C's, but your desire is to get A. And then that makes you feel low about yourself and almost, tell yourself, I'm stupid, I can never get this grade, this A that I cherish. But we are telling you now, when you learn to self accept, acknowledge that you have other strengths and not just maybe in those books. Or maybe the other units you can perform extremely well. So learn that you can never be extremely good or extremely bad. What are the benefits of self acceptance? This helps you regulate your mood, or moods for that matter. When you learn to accept yourself the way you are and accepting that Fred is very different from Asha, then it is okay. You learn to settle with that. Then it's not going to get you angry all the time. It will also decrease depressive symptoms. It will also increase positive emotions, a sense of freedom. When we talk about a sense of freedom, we are talking about you learning that I am free to do what I want to do because that is. And then it also improves your self worth. Like I said, you know, how much do you think you cost if we were to sell you today? How much do you think you fetch yourself for yourself? Some of us will say, no, you can't. You can't put a price on me. Yes, but is that how you behave when you're walking around here, out here? Do you carry yourself like that person who is worth so much? Or do we devalue ourselves? And naturally, there is also what you call social stratification. There are those who will be up and there are those of us who will be down. But again, be proud of who you are. And if you think you don't like how you are, then can you do something about it? Remember, society is very different and very difficult sometimes. You'll have friends who will always be putting you down. You do something good, they're like, oh, they only see the negative side of it. You have a choice. You're not condemned to stay with a particular person. Many of us, you've done something and you're like, if someone has not made a good comment, then maybe I didn't do something good. You know, therefore, you're giving somebody else the authority to decide whether you're going to be happy or not to be happy, whether you're going to appreciate what you have done or not. So we are saying, no, it is okay. It is okay to make mistakes. We've already said that. So, what is motivating you to do what you're doing? Are you doing because you want to do it, or you are doing so that somebody else comes to tell you you've done good? Self acceptance is a critical aspect of health and happiness. Remember, we said earlier that when you self accept, you reduce levels of depression, yeah, and it will improve your moods. Okay. So, this is an attribute that shapes our physical, our mental, and emotional health in real and concrete ways. But again, that is why KAPC is here for you. We offer those services. We do individual counseling, we do relationship counseling, all sorts, all manner of counseling. Even if you've gotten yourself into drugs because you're not able to cope with that situation, some people want to do what we call self-medication, which is very unhealthy. Use of drugs, use of alcohol. Some of us become very violent because we are overwhelmed by what is going on. So seek help and we shall give it to you. Yeah. So thank you very much, guys. And in conclusion, you are special and a unique person. You can accomplish anything you set your mind to by loving and accepting yourself. 100%. Nothing in the world will stop you from achieving your goals. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks so much for the awesome presentation. Believe all of us have looked back and we've actually seen the need to self-accept. And of course, we've gotten tips and a lot of advice on how to pick yourself and love yourself and the reason why you should love yourself. Yona Ahabwe is asking, where do you draw the line between loving yourself and being selfish?
When you are being selfish, then you're not being mindful of other people. Remember, we said just be considerate of people also who are around you. Are you being kind to them? Okay, I will repeat this. We don't live in isolation. Even if you are loving me in this case is you, does it mean you are stepping on other people's toes? Are you doing it in such a way that you even appear to be arrogant? Being very inconsiderate. That is now when you feel like, when you realize now this again is not very good for me, then I think you're being very selfish to other people.
Thank you. I'd like to invite Christine Tusaba, who's a counselor at AKU Kampala campus, to also contribute to the topic. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much, my colleague, for the presentation. It has been very, very good. Yes, what I would like to add is that self-acceptance is part of the, and people need to be aware of that when you become self-aware, and then after that, you follow up with self-acceptance for you to be able to actually develop yourself. Our childhood is very important. Parenting is very important. And what we are able to tell or to talk to our children is very important. And I know that as students, we are growing up. Some of you have already, become parents, and you take this chance to change some of the way you talk to your children so that they're able to develop this self-acceptance from the word go. So just know that those things you talk to your children are very important, and you need to be very critical the way you pass on information. But I would also like to add that self-acceptance, you need to know that although we say you get to understand your weaknesses and accept yourself as that, but it requires you to do some kind of improvement. When you get to know your weaknesses, try to see how to improve on these. So I want to thank her so much for discussing this self-acceptance exhaustively. And I think we've learned a lot from it. Thank you very much.
If you have a comment or a concern or a question, you can actually just unmic yourself and shoot at this point. Let's make it as engaging as possible.
Guinea, thank you very much. This has been a very refreshing session. In fact, as Fred has said, Edna has called it a very therapeutic session. Quite indeed. One, I wish to recognize the presence of assistant registrars who have made this possible. Asha Abdallah is right in the house. We have Agatha Damas in the house. We have Gladys Mugerwa from Uganda too in the house. And so I must laud their great effort to put this together. I mean, this is an excellent session that we are not stopping soon. Despite the low attendance, we have quite a number of students in our 3 campuses, but we only get so many attending. But we believe that that is the number that are very interested in listening in and attending. So we count on the benefit and the fact that we've made this available to all students. So spread the message for all of you who are in the audience. Let them know how therapeutic these sessions are, as Edna said. And it has always been refreshing to listen to Christine, to listen to Ngini. Excellent, excellent presentation. So I've picked a number of points that I would also wish to reiterate. I like your 3 A's, Ngini, about being accepting oneself. Be ready to adapt, be ready to alter any situation that is making you uncomfortable, and even to alter the thinking, perception, interpretation, and even messages that are coming from others about you in order to accept yourself. And I like the last one. Avoid those who are bringing you down. Avoid. I mean, if somebody is trying to make you not feel good, why do you want to stick around? Excellent points coming through your presentation. And then the other one about, you don't need to seek people's approval about you. You don't need their validation. And of course, we have been moderated to realize that we work within the confines of knowing that others also exist. We are human beings that are gregarious in nature, and therefore we need each other. So without stepping on anyone's toe, we want to feel good about ourselves. I wish to thank everyone who has made it possible. And you students for being in attendance. Please pass the message and let everybody know what they are missing. They are missing some very good therapy in this era of COVID-19. And we always have Ngini, we always have Christine, we always have Rebecca in Tanzania as well. Just in case you have issues, please feel free to speak with them. They are on WhatsApp groups of the various countries. And so this is all. Thank you very much. And over to you. I turn it on to you, Fred.
I think it's a bye for everyone. Asante sana for your very good, insightful session. I beg to leave. Thank you.